guys. Yeah, so this is an actual riding vlog. Haven't made one of those in many moons. It's Saturday evening and out for my second ride of the day. Today was like stupid windy. Earlier today when I went out, we had like gusts up to 70 kilometers an hour. So it wasn't particularly a lot of fun to ride in, but have to get in my volume. It's a 14-hour week, and today was a really shitty day. I'm not getting in exactly what I had planned, but because of the wind, slightly dangerous riding conditions earlier today. But the winds have died down. They're still gusting to over 40k an hour, but they're much better than they were. So we're heading over to Boulevard Lake. And we're going to do laps around Boulevard Lake. So there's a path that goes around there. So there'll probably be some people walking there, even this time at night in the dark, but we'll go there because it's a fun loop. It's curvy up and down, but you don't have to deal too much with vehicular traffic. It's a little safer to ride there at night. The wind's supposed to die down as the evening goes on, so maybe it'll be even less as the ride goes on. We're almost at Boulevard Lake, but we're just taking quiet side streets to avoid traffic. Okay, so we're pretty close to Boulevard Lake now. So yeah, updates since the last video. We are riding the Cannondale. That was a 26B. It is now a 650B. I've got the 650 wheels on it right now. And yeah, bike's a lot of fun now. Not that it wasn't before, but definitely rolls a little faster. So I'm running Schwalbe Marathon 1.65 inch tires, so they're still fat enough to have good cushioning, big contact patch, still be reasonably quick. The only issue is they're more like a commuting tire, so they have a puncture protection. So the casing isn't very supple. When I have them at high pressure, they ride actually pretty harsh. But it's the only tire that my LBS local bike shop could find. 650B tires. It's not a huge availability, especially in Canada. So this is all he could find on short notice. So next summer hopefully there'll be more choices. I'll try and find a lightweight fat slick for these wheels. Well, the other thing is they're 32 spoke, so I mean I wanted a strong wheel, so they're not super light, but they're going to be really strong, problem free, unlike the Mavic Cross Maxes I had, which are super light. And the lower spoke count on them, they were smoother riding because they were more flexible. Even for a 26 inch, they were pretty smooth riding. So I'm not getting the supposed smoother ride from larger diameter rollover because of the higher spoke count. It's a much stiffer wheel to begin with. Okay, so we're at Boulevard Lake. It's a fun, fast downhill section here. Before we hook onto the trail, this is one section where you end up intermingling with vehicle traffic, but the actual speed limit through here is actually 30 kilometers an hour for the cars as well. Nobody does that. It's outrageously slow, but that is the posted speed limit. We were going well above it as well. So now we come on to the path. So there is a Strava KOM Strava segment around this lake too, but it's not a particularly responsible segment. There's gonna be lots of people here. I think that person there walking their dog. There is actually they made an extension to the trail that we're gonna go on. Most of this is lit around here. The section we're gonna go on is unlit, so I think we have our lights, but almost nobody goes and walks the extension bits. So I created some Strava sections. There's a really fun, slightly technical downhill section where I kind of switchbacks. So it's almost a not pedal downhill, and it's all about technique, proper braking, picking the right line to get the fastest time down it. It's really short. Right now the fastest time is 29 seconds, and aha, I have the fastest time. We'll take that, I'll show you it. So we've been out for 15 minutes, and the plan is to ride for an hour and a half, so it's a fair number of laps. That's okay, this is a really fun loop, and like I said, it's much safer than dealing with street traffic at night. And I have been doing a fair bit of night riding already. Sunset here now is I think around 6:50, so it's dark just before 7. And I leave for work. When I ride a bike to work, I leave for work around 7:15, and it's about a 30-minute ride, so my ride to work is already in the dark. So yeah, I'll be doing more night riding, especially middle of winter on the fat bike. So this is the downhill Strava segment. This is the only spot you would theoretically pedal on, and then the rest of it is just technique. Right lines, proper braking technique. We did that fairly well, but I don't think it's the fastest time that I did. I did my fastest time on my road bike. So now we're on the new lower section. It's not lit. It's really fun, so we're already going uphill. And then there's a steep bit here that cuts through the woods. There's actually a ridge that you guys can't see. Obviously it's dark, but it's actually really steep. So it's like a Spring Classics type climb. So we got a 42 tooth big ring and a 28 tooth or road cassette on the back. So we're in the easiest gear, 28 on the back and a 44 up front. Oh, it's a steep little grunter. People also avoid this section because this is a really nice park, beautiful park around a man-made lake, beautiful pass, but just down here, that street over there is kind of a rougher part of town. So yeah, you get some riffraff for some reason. Riffraff always like to hide in the shadows, hide in the dark. I don't understand why. I don't know if the light hurts them or burns them. And they come over here and hang out. So a lot of people avoid walking through here for that reason. And it's always in the back of my mind too when I ride through there. But on a bike, at least I have the speed to get away. And at night, these lights are basically a weapon. They're so bright that if I shine them in people's eyes to defend myself, I have the upper hand. They will be completely blinded. So what else? So yeah, we're rocking a Garmin 800. My Garmin 705 finally broke last weekend. Or was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. I was out on a ride and it was raining, and it was actually basically a road ride, but 1 kilometer of it is on a gravel road, and even just that 1 kilometer stretch was really muddy. I got freaking filthy. And the 705 has a rubber band that goes around it, and the side buttons, the power button, which you use a lot and you have to hold it down to turn it on, you have to hold it down to shut it off. Eventually it kind of it didn't fall off, but it was on the verge of falling off, so moisture and everything could get inside the unit. So I knew one day it would die because of that, and it did. On a rainy ride, it died. I think I bought that thing in 2009, so I got a fair number of years out of it, but still it kind of burns me because it was freaking expensive. It was back in 2009. I bought the full bundle, so the full map in North America, heart rate monitor. It had the speed and the cadence, which I didn't bother with. The reason I bought a GPS one was because I can move it from bike to bike. You know, the GPS and speed, basically, you'd mount it on the one bike and leave it there, so I didn't bother. I think I paid over $600 for it in 2009, so it's a pretty pricey tool. So I got an 800, which isn't current now because they have a 1000, and there was an 810 as well, but my dealer had it, and I told him the price I could get it online in Canada, and he didn't quite match it because he said he couldn't, but I could have got it for less with free shipping from Mountain Equipment Co-op. But basically I was without a computer, and because I'm using Strava religiously and my phone doesn't cut it, I needed it right away. So yes, I could have paid for shipping. If I had paid for shipping on Mountain Equipment Co-op to get it in a couple days, it would have cost the same as buying it from my local bike shop. So I bought it from my local bike shop. So I replaced it pretty much right away. Yeah, and it does everything my 705 did. The only other thing is it's touch screen, which is good and bad, but it still has redundant buttons for start and stop. So hopefully it gives me the same number of years or more of trouble-free service that the 705 did. Man, I'm totally addicted to Strava now, and didn't have a GPS. I was like, oh my god, I'm lost. Could have used my phone, but it doesn't have the heart rate data, and for long rides it doesn't have battery life. So yeah, I think my 705 died on a Saturday. It actually recorded the whole ride, and it did upload the stuff to Strava when I plugged it in, but after that I couldn't use it. So the next day I did a 3-hour ride, and Well, it was my first ride of the day. I did do a second ride as well, and I used my I have a Samsung S4, I think. I mean, it's an out-of-date phone now, but it was creme de la creme when I got it. And 3 hours of Strava. When I got home, my battery, it didn't even show a level. The battery indicator was just a red with an X through it. So it barely recorded that 3-hour ride, but it did it. So there's no way I can use my phone for any longer rides. Plus I want the heart rate data. Haven't made a vlog in a while, and it's not like I haven't been riding. I've been riding lots, as much as I can mentally handle. So I've been doing a rotation of 10, 12, 14. So macro cycle kind of thing that I learned from way back in the day from Greg LeMond. So I do a 10-hour a week, a 10-hour a week, a 12-hour a week, a 14-hour a week, and then I drop down to 10-hour a week again on the 4th week. And yeah, so the shortest week I do is 10 hours, the longest week I do is 14, and 14 is kind of, it's my mental limit. Sure, I'm interested in being fast on Strava, and in the 3 months that I've been training semi-seriously, I've closed the gap to the fastest guys in town. I do actually have some KOMs that are holding, and that is what I did in the 1990s. That's the kind of training I did when I was serious about mountain bike racing. That was the volume I did, and it made me the best mountain biker in the city and one of the best in the province of Ontario. So if it worked then, it'll work now, and it is working. See how fun this loop is, it just twists and winds. So far we've only seen one other person on it walking their dog. They're on the other side of the lake. We're now on the side closest to where I live. So you should see some more videos from me now. So basically, it's what, near the end of October. The weather's been pretty good, so you can still ride seriously and still go for Strava KOMs, but I think now I'm gonna change modes and start preparing for next summer. I did train hard for 3 months, and I made significant progress. So you should see more videos from me now. And speaking of fat bike, I have put aside, I still haven't paid for these 650B wheels. The next week or two I'll pay for these. And then my LBS has North 45 Dillinger 5 studded, so 5-inch studded tires. So I'm gonna get, he said he put them aside for me. He only has a couple sets. The availability of fat bike stuff is still poor, especially in Canada. So I'll have some studded fat bike tires for this winter. And I'm not buying them for trails, I'm buying them for this, for actually training on the road. And just country roads, country back roads. The beginning of the winter and spring and stuff, where they're going to deal with a lot of hard pack snow, icy, pure ice conditions. It'll allow me to train pretty much worry-free. I can do some actual real rides even in the middle of winter. I can go out for 3-4 hours on the roads on the fat bike, so long as temperature is allowed for it. So I'll be able to maintain a 100% cycling specific training regime this winter because of those studded tires, but they're freaking expensive. They're like $289 each. That's the price of maintaining a high level of fitness through the winter. Cycling specific fitness at that. So we're just kind of soft pedaling down that hill, but we hit 46 k an hour, which, especially in the dark, feels even faster. So back onto the trail. Yeah, so now I've switched modes. No longer trying to actually build form and get faster. So some days I was doing 2 interval workouts a day. And wow, it really supercharged my fitness really fast. But mentally that eventually wears on you, and there's no point having that kind of fitness right now or through the winter. So cut back to next few months, just 2 days of intensity a week. Focus on the weekends is just volume. So I may even do more than 14 hours a week for the next little while, but it'll be easier to do because I won't have all this intensity that I've done, which takes a long time to recover from. So instead of going down to the lower part like we did last lap, we're just going to cross the dam. So this is a man-made lake held back by obviously a man-made dam. So one problem with this loop is this section here. It's super narrow, basically one-way traffic. The entire rest of the loop is two-way, wide enough for two-way traffic, but this is still stuck in the stone edges here. So it can be annoying when you're on your bike because you're going to have to stop and wait for people to walk. So that's why I normally always go down to the lower part, because you don't have to stop and wait for anybody. You almost never see anybody down there for the reasons I explained. Well, number one, because it's close to a riffraff area, and number two, there's a couple big hills, and I guess the majority of people don't like strenuous hills. So there's still a stiff wind, but boy, nothing like it was earlier today. Here, we'll go down here and we'll do the lower section in reverse. So it would be fun to make a Strava segment through here too, because it would be a fast, fun, technical, twisty bit, but it would be really fast. Again, not super responsible to be doing this kind of stuff on bike paths when it's busy. Now we're going to go down the Spring Classics type uphill, and it was to be really fun, but there's people around here. It's really fast. It's dangerous to go down here fast with people walking. But at night you can be pretty sure you'll see almost nobody. And then hard on the brakes, 90-degree corner. So the dam that we just crossed is just up there. I don't know if you can see the lights. So now we're about to go up the switchback downhill. So I just created a KOM Strava segment up this way. I've yet to ride this way in anger when I feel good. So I have the second fastest time after it went through the whole Strava history of everybody that's gone up this hill. I did that time a couple months ago, and I'm much fitter than I was then. So on a day when I have good legs, I should come here and do this. I should be able to get the fastest time. It's quite steep. The GoPro doesn't do it justice, but it flattens out here now. This is my second ride today, so I did an hour and a half in the middle of the day, doing an hour and a half in the evening. Did 2 hour-and-a-half rides on Friday because I had the day off. And this is a 14-hour week, so unfortunately I didn't get in as much riding today as I should have because of the crazy wind conditions. So I think I have to do 5 hours tomorrow, over 5 hours, if I'm going to get in 14 hours. So we'll see if that happens. If it's not windy like today, I should be able to do it. So we've been out for 45 minutes. Still need to do another 45 minutes. I'm surprised there aren't more people walking out here tonight, but the crazy winds are keeping people away. Just had the cops. Just had the cops pass us. Pass by us. I got everything that's legally required. Front lights, rear lights. Mind you, these front lights are so bright they're probably illegal. I have all kinds of reflective stickers on this bike. Even the tires have a reflective strip around them. The only thing I'm missing is a bell. Bring, bring. So I'm breaking city bylaw by not having a bell. So we're about to go through a new section. So this section here used to go down and connect to the road, and then you'd have to follow the shoulder. Now they built a new section of actual path through the woods. They have the light poles up, but it's still not lit. So it's a fast downhill in the complete dark. So we'll have some fun. Brand new trail. Just opened a few weeks ago. Brand new section here as well. Not sure what the idea with this fencing is. I think it's to keep the deer from going out on the road. Faster than the car. The wind is noticeably died down since even when we started, which it did say in the forecast that it would die down late tonight. Okay, so we've been out for an hour. One more complete long lap, and then riding home should give us an hour and a half. This is a fun section here. These little stair step rollers. Wildlife in the woods beside us. Lots of deer hang out here because there's enough green space, wooded area, and then people feed them, which is against city bylaw, but people do it anyways. Last time up the Spring Classics hill. All right, so now we'll start heading home. All right, well, we're just finishing up our ride. My first vlog in ages. Just seconds from the crazy sight on the compound. So, hour, 30-minute ride. There's my motorcycle that I haven't driven since I think August, beginning of August, because now that I've gotten hardcore back into cycling, I don't have time to ride it. But I got messaged by a guy that I ride motorbikes with, and he asked to go for a ride this weekend, and I told him a white lie that why I couldn't go. But the next couple weekends I'll probably do a motorcycle ride, one or two motorcycle rides before I put it away. So back at the compound. So yeah, here's the forecast. So right now 28-kilometer wind gusting to 43. But they were saying today that it would be 40 kilometers an hour, gusting to 60 kilometers an hour. But when I went out for my ride, they said it were 68 kilometer an hour gusts. And then I checked it later on in the day, and they were listing it as 79 kilometer an hour wind gusts. So it was a crazy windy day today. So yeah, here's our ride on Strava. So 36.7K, hour 30 minutes, 206 meters of climbing. Average speed 24.3, maximum speed 55k an hour, average heart rate 117, maximum 151. Temperature outside right now is 7 Celsius. And there's our ride on the map. These are all the segments. But it was an easy ride. But actually, I got to message by a guy that I ride motorbikes with, and he asked to go for a ride this weekend, and I told him a white lie that I couldn't go. But the next couple weekends I'll probably do a motorcycle ride, one or two motorcycle rides before I put it away. So The last time I went down going down the switchback one, so I have the fastest time at 29 seconds, and even on the mountain bike that last time we did 31 seconds, so we're still faster than everybody else that's done it, even on the mountain bike. Yeah, so I've got that little downhill section figured out pretty well. So anyways, first vlog in a while. Thanks for watching.